We're going to go ahead and get started. Sorry, we have a lot of background noise, a lot of people on calls. I am going to record this simply because there's a few people who said they can't make it on. We will do the recording for them. If it doesn't give you an excuse, do not jump on the calls. I want you guys on my calls. I'm very excited for you guys to be joining us. This could be my favorite group. Don't tell anybody else that. This is going to be a lot of fun. So before we get started, I want to make sure we go over some announcements for the upcoming week or two to make sure you guys are on par with what's happening. If you have any questions about them, I'm sure I don't know the answer, but you can ask them anyways. First up is today in 1 hour, the Hal Elrod webcast, I think is what we're calling it, starts. Make sure you guys are part of that. Tomorrow the Elite Report comes out, and I know there's some anxious coaches on here waiting to see some numbers, so I'll post that next. I'll post that tomorrow. And also this weekend is the double time sneak peek, both Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you guys take advantage of that. Make sure you leverage that, not only for yourselves, but for your team. And then we have this little thing next Thursday in the UK that's launching. Hopefully, I know there's people on this call who are going to the UK. So we are excited for you guys to go out. Can't take lots of pictures, eat horrible food, and come back and tell us all about it. What else am I missing? November to Remember. Hopefully you've heard about this. I know it's still, we're in the announcing stages of it, so you don't have to know everything about it. But registration for that opens on the 16th, on Monday. And it goes until November, right after leadership, whatever that day is. And you're simply just getting groups of 2. And you guys, it will be based on double time challenge packs. We're going to have region leaderboards as well as overall leaderboards. The region leaderboards will be the top 7. Each person gets $1,000 groups. And then, or 2,000, so split between the two is 1,000 each. And then we'll do a overall winner where the top double time challenge pack winner will get $50,000 donated to their local school, PTA, or whatever it may be, which will be awesome. And I don't know, I think it's been announced, don't know if it has. If it hasn't been announced, you didn't hear it from me, it was recorded. But double time challenge packs will have this many success club points attached to them. So, which is great. So that's 3 to Joe. Sorry, you turned around. Okay, so we're going to dive into. So let me quickly establish kind of how this group will go. I love Mastermind groups. I think this is where the rubber needs to road. I think this is where we're all of the same status. And we're all going through the same things, and we can all learn and benefit from each other. So I want you guys showing up every time, and this is going to be an every other week thing. And I've done masterminds in the past where we've done trainings, coach-led training. I've done book groups. I've done brainstorm. And what I'm doing this time is I'm doing topics specific to what you guys determined today. I want to make sure that we talk about what you want to talk about, not necessarily what the other group wants to talk about. I want to talk about the things that you guys are going through. So how this is going to work is we're going to quickly go around. There's a lot of us on here, and I don't want this to go more than an hour. Usually it'll be about 45 minutes, but it may take us a little bit longer to get to everybody today. I want you to simply just introduce yourself. I'm sure you may not know people, but we have all walks of life. We have elite coaches on here. We have premier coaches on here, and we have people who have been around a long time. We have people making lots of money, people who are doing great things. So we all have, we can learn from each other. So I want you to simply just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I want to know what's working. And I emphasize that simply because the other groups, other mastermind groups, seem to forget that to go to what's not working. But there are things working for you guys. So I want to know what is working right now for you. And it's okay. You want the be shy about it. I want to know what's working. And then I do want to know some areas of polish that you guys have in your business, things that you feel like you can improve on. I'll be typing notes, and then we're going to, and then I want you to say, I would love to have topics. I would love to discuss as a group this topic or topics, because that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to come up with the topics, but I promise you guys that I will come prepared. That you will leave each mastermind group enriched, that you guys will leave with ideas, and it will only be because you guys come willing to share. So before each mastermind group, I'll make sure we know the topic, make sure you guys come prepared. If you feel like this is a weak area, still show up and ask questions. That's the only way we're going to get better. It's okay if you're not an expert in one area. If you feel like it's a strong point for you, come with ideas you want to share. And I'm going to make sure everybody does participate. This isn't a one-person show. This is simply a brainstorm. If you're thinking you're the weak link in this group, you're not. I can guarantee there are people who are thinking the same thoughts you are. So the only way this is going to work is if we all show up and chat. So putting that kind of in the forefront, let's quickly go around. Once again, introduce yourself, what's working, maybe what's not working as well, and some topics that you want to discuss as a mastermind group. So I will start with Allison. You showed up first. Let's have you go first.
Okay, no pressure. Hi guys, I'm Allison Stow, and it's kind of nice to see some new faces because I just moved back east from the West region. I actually grew up in Pennsylvania, but live in Maryland now, and my husband is government. So we've lived in Maryland, we've lived in Colorado, we've lived in Australia. They really keep us on our toes. So, but I've been coach for over 3 years now, and I've got an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. And so that's me in a nutshell. Try to take some notes real quick so I can remember all this. What's working? I think personally what's working for me, I don't know that it's working now that I look at it and say it out loud. I think the team that I have in place is good. I don't feel like I feel like I watched a lot of other people lose a lot of their team in this past year. And like, once my team is mine, they tend to stick around. So I feel like retention is kind of my jam. But areas to improve, I feel like this is probably something I'm not going to be the only one to say, but just recruiting those business builders, really finding those other people that want to do this job, the way that I do it, or at the pace that I do it, or at the level that I do it. I feel like that is the area where I say it, slow and steady wins the race, but I'm more like a turtle in peanut butter. Like, that's how slow I feel like I'm moving at improving at that. So topics I would love to chat about is just hearing how, if those of you who do that successfully, recruiting or effectively recruiting business builders. So is that what you wanted, Kev?
Perfect. That was just exactly what I wanted. And I'm sure you guys won't ever, I work with most of you. You guys don't give yourselves enough credit. Allison when she moved over, came with high recommendations from Brittany. And so we're very excited to be working with her. And I know she brings a lot to the table. So we're excited to learn from you as well, Allison. Thank you. Tamara, how do you go next?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tamara Tarrant. Recently had a name change. I'm a divorced 40-year-old mom from Connecticut. I've been a coach for 5 years and was able to replace my social work salary. And so I retired from a court job that I had that was immensely stressful to coach full-time at the end of May. So what is working? What is working was my strategy of building towards my goal in being able to retire. So I was a bank versus rank chick for a really long time. And so that worked really well. What's not working is clearly my cat in the background. What's not working for me is moving forward. I think what worked 5 years ago does not currently work in this business. And so I've had to learn how to move myself. So, and I've actually stalked some of you guys that are on this call, because I think that there's, success leaves clues. So I'm trying to learn from some of you. So what I want to learn is what's working for some of the new people. So I really love, I'm part of that group with Carl for the families. So I love to learn from other people, and I want to hear what's working for other people, and be able to share maybe some of the history that I have, so that we can each kind of put that all together. So
wonderful. Thank you, Tamara. I have a great relationship with her. She has a lot to bring as well, and she's dead on. But times are changing. How we approach people on social media is changing, and that should definitely be something that we discuss on best practices with social media to attract the people who we want to attract. Speaking of which, somebody who's mastered that, Ashley Lachlan, I will have you go next.
Hey everyone! So I've been a coach in January, it'll be 3 years, and I'm now a full-time coach. I was able to retire from my teaching job in December, and what's working well for me is, one, recruiting coaches. That's like my strength, so I can definitely talk about that at some point. Last month was a slower month, but typically I get like 20 to 30 coaches a month, and most of them are business builders. And just recruiting challengers, like through my posts, just like the curiosity marketing, attraction marketing, that kind of thing. What's not working for me is getting freaking diamonds. Like, I don't know how many diamond groups that I've run and diamond mastermind calls that I run. And it's just like, I have like 30 people pushing to diamond, but they just like aren't getting there. And I mean, I have 2 girls that will probably go diamond this month, but it's like, it's taken me like a year to freaking help them get there. So I'm like, why, like, how are people getting so many diamonds so quickly? That's my weakness and what I really need to focus on. Is that good, Kevin?
Yeah, everybody else is getting diamonds but you. Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I understand you said. Yeah, Ashley, we need you on these calls every single time to talk about how the heck you recruit coaches and challenges so well. And so we're thrilled to have you on. Thank you very much. Annalisa with the baby.
Hey guys, I'm Annalisa. I am here with Ben because my nanny called out sick today, which is kind of funny because I was like, Kevin, I can finally get on calls. I have a nanny. And she called out sick today. So we're here. But I've been a coach for 4 years. I was premier my second year and kind of have fallen short and way short this year on kind of holding that standing in my business or beyond. So what's working for me, I can build my business in terms of challengers. I'm like Success Club 45 months or so now. So that is something that is a non-negotiable in my business. But what's a challenge is getting, like you guys said, onboarding coaches who actually do something right off the bat, who actually, like, they say they want to coach, it sounds great to them, and then they're onboarded with trainings and nobody does anything. So and just getting that moving. And I'd also like to hear from someone who feels like they have really good team culture and what they're doing in their team to really build each other up. I feel like my team is still trying to I'm still trying to pull them to celebrate each other and really be a unit. But yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I feel like we're matchmaking here. This is good. I see topics forming quite easily. And yeah, I think, team culture is definitely something that a lot of people struggle with. They feel like they show up, they can hit Success Club, they can recruit new challengers and coaches, but they can't seem to get inspired their team below them to do the same. So we will talk about that. Thank you so much. Speaking of other babies, Ashley, let's have you go next.
Hey guys, I'm right there with Annalisa. I get on team calls and other calls, but I usually can't even pay attention because she's screaming or running around, so I feel like I'm not really there. So I feel you on that. But I'm Ashley LaSure. I'm from Rochester, New York. I'm a mom of 2. I have a 10-year-old. He just turned 10, and I also have a 10-month-old daughter. And I've been in the business for almost 4 years. I've been a full-time coach for 2.5 years. And I would say what's working for me right now is finally having the mindset of always putting myself first, because obviously as a mom, you get in the mindset of putting yourself last. So I feel like right now that's working for me, especially in my business, because I am always showing up every morning for my workouts, making sure I'm putting myself first and making sure I'm happy before I jump into the business side and helping other people. And I would say what's not working right now is definitely keeping my leaders motivated. I felt like my leaders, I never would have that problem with, because they were just always motivated. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like they're the ones I'm struggling the hardest with right now. So I definitely would need more on what everyone does for team culture also. And then I think also another topic would definitely be retention for sure. And that's me.
Okay, and that's actually perfect. I love retention. That's one of my hot topics that I frequently talk about, so I think that's definitely something we can talk about as well. Recruiting is awesome. It's great to bring on new people, but if they don't stick around, yeah, you're just working too hard. And so let's keep people around for the right reasons. Great stuff. Okay, Megan Ziegler, let's have you come on next.
Hey guys, I'm Megan Ziegler. I'm from Delaware, and I have been a coach about 2.5 years. And I have a son who's 4. He's in school full time now. So prior to this year, it was just me working this in like my cracks of time. But that being said, something that is kind of, I don't know, I mean, not really, it's unique for me because everybody else seems to have this, but I don't have any upline support at all. I've just run a challenge group every month and hit Success Club, and that's all I was ever told to do. So I have no problem with that part. That's probably my strength, but my weaknesses are just getting those people to do exactly what I did, and none of the other fancy stuff. So, because I didn't have it, so I don't really know what to give to them for that. So just retention and just finding those people who there's no other option but this for them. Like it has been for me for almost 3 years. Like I'm not going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and Megan doesn't give herself enough credit either. She's an awesome coach to work with. And, to your point of getting people to do the same thing, to duplicate what we do, I think it's so funny that, we spend so much time, and I don't want to dive into this because we're getting to know each other, but we spend so much time on putting together these super cute, fancy little trainings and programs and videos and whatever. And in the end, they still don't have that motivation. And so we're going to talk about that a lot. I think this Mastermind group of maybe how to work on inspiring them, then finding that extra to training for them. I'll be wonderful. Thank you, Megan, for speaking up. Rose, let's have you go next.
All right. Hey, everyone. So I'm Rose. I am from New Jersey. I've been a coach for about 4.5 years. Before I was a coach, I was a high school athletic trainer and was able to leave that, I think, 2 years ago. And I actually will make a post probably this week because it'll be my 2-year anniversary since I left. So I would say my strength is probably definitely leadership. And we do have a pretty good team culture, and I'll have to say that that's probably because I do have a pretty big New Jersey team. So we're always going out to dinner, going to the beach together, just hanging out. So I think that one-on-one connection definitely helps to just strengthen our bond. And just like kind of everybody else, weakness is I need some fresh blood. I definitely have lifers, and that's great, but I want some new blood on the team. Recruiting, yeah. That's it.
Okay, I think I know what we're going to talk about next time. Very good. That's great. Thanks, Rose. She's a little fireball, love working with us. All right, Stephanie, let's have you go next.
Sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Marsilio, and I live in Rochester, New York. I'm a wife and mom of 4 kids that are all in school. They're 11, 9, 8, and 5. So this is my first year that I can actually participate in this kind of stuff, which is kind of awesome because I am also home during the day, and I can work my business here during the day, which is awesome. My story sounds pretty similar to many of the people who already talked. I have hit Success Club every month I've been in the business. I've been doing this for about 3.5 years, but it's tricky to help my coaches to like consistently hit Success Club. There's a couple that get it and do it consistently, and then there's a couple that come in and out. But one thing that I've really noticed this year is I had a bunch of success starters who on month 4 like vanished. Like they're still coaches, but they just, their warm market kind of dried up. And while I talked to them about expanding into their cold market, I don't know what happened. So that's another thing that I've been struggling with this year in particular, is helping people pass that 3-month mark and keeping them successful.
You hit it right on the head. 3 months is that magical number. I think that's something that we'll also discuss, is how to help people stay past that 3-month mark. For some reason, 1 to 3 months, if we can get them past that, then I think we have them for life. At least the percentage goes extremely high after that. And so we will talk about best practices and strategies. Thank you. Tatiana, let's have you go next.
Hey, I'm Tatiana. I live in Buffalo, New York. And I have a 5-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. And yeah, a lot of the same stuff you are all saying, but what I've been seeing a positive lately is challengers actually like sticking around and staying on Shakeology and having like incredible results, which is why I'm here. So that makes me really happy. And I think it changed when I first started. I was like hitting success, like getting so many people, but they weren't my people. And I kind of hated it. So now I'm actually, because I've kind of found myself through all of this and I'm putting myself out there, I'm getting the right kind of women who are then also turning into coaches, which is like the process that I want. However, they are not seeing those, they're not getting customers and stuff like I was, or growing a team, even though they say they are. So, getting coaches started right is something that I really want to work on. And not just that, like for them to be seeing small wins right away. Because I think that that's so important once they start seeing those small wins. So, yeah, that. And also, I'm very good at doing things. Like I kind of, if I see something is working, I'll just take action on it. But I don't necessarily, I'm not that great at like sharing everything that I'm doing with my team, if that makes sense. Because I'm just a doer, right? So I kind of struggle with that, and I'm not sure. But you guys, like this is why I love having a team, because some of the coaches are good at doing that. So they do that, and then, yeah.
Perfect. And we love you either way. It's okay. It's all right. You're in the safe zone. Thanks for confessing to us. That was awesome. Mama-to-be Ashley Odenweller. Let's have you go next.
Hi, guys. I am Ashley. I was hoping I would not be on this call as I'm overdue by 2 days, but I am here. I have been a coach for 5 years in January. Honestly, I'm in a rebuilding stage. I went from a strong team of nearly 500, and I have less than 200 coaches in my downline right now. So what I'm good at is being consistent and working out for the last 22 weeks and just showing up. And like Megan, you are not alone. I have no upline support. So a lot of what I do, I'm figuring out on my own. I don't have trainings from above. I don't have these great ideas. I come up with everything on my own. It's been a rough year, but I'm still here. So consistency is what I'm good at. I used to be a strong recruiter, like 20, 30 coaches a month. And I think I have maybe 1 or 2, if I'm lucky, a month right now. So as soon as this baby decides to come out of me, I am very excited to just run with my business and just basically rebuild from the ground up and find those people that want it just as much as I do. So that's me.
Well, when the baby comes, let us all know. We'll keep our fingers crossed for you that baby decides to come out soon. That's awesome. Okay. Katie, let's have you go next.
Sure. Hi. Okay, I'm Katie Auerhahn, and I'm from Rochester, New York. There's a bunch of Rochester coaches in here, which is cool. I'm a wife and a stay-at-home mom. My daughter is 3 and my son is 6. I've been in the business almost 4 years now, I guess. I guess I'm a full-time coach, but I only work about 3 hours a day because I guess I'm a full-time mom. Okay, my strengths. I think I'm good at like building a team culture. I think a lot of my coaches are lifers because we're friends, kind of. We become close friends, and relationship building, which I guess kind of goes with it. I've always been kind of quality over quantity. I don't have a huge team, but I've got a lot of workers, which is cool. My weaknesses and what I would love to hear about, a lot of the same stuff you guys have said, but finding those new coaches this year has been really, really tough for me. Those new coaches who like, I think it was Stephanie, a couple other people might have said this, they continue to work after they start working. And then keeping my leaders motivated. I think it was Ashley who said that, but I think, all my diamonds are still in this, but they're struggling. And, I'd love to hear other people's ideas and stuff on that. So.
And I love that you mentioned the quality over quantity. She's one of our elite coaches this past year, so she is proof of what she's walking the walk right here. So, Katie, congratulations on that, and for showing up. I'm sure they have lots to learn from you over that specific topic, which I'm fairly passionate about. All right, driving Lindsay, good gravy. Keep your eyes on the road to start talking.
Thanks. I'm Lindsay. I live in Ohio. I've been a coach about 3 years. I'm full-time for almost 2. Strengths right now, I have an 8-month-old baby, and I feel like I'm finally coming out of that baby fog, and I'm realizing I started this business when my first was 3 months old and really didn't take off until after I was done nursing. So kind of having these aha moments that the mom thinks possible with this, but it's not possible how I want to do it until I'm done nursing. So I feel like there's a lot to come, but what I'm good at right now is just reconnecting with that journey and that why, and I feel really excited about posting again. It felt like a chore for a while, and I joined Leadership Legacy Leadership Academy. I don't know if you guys have seen that Bob H, I forget how you say his last name, in your news feeds. So really simplifying my message and only posting 2 or 3 times a day, as he says, has been my bread and butter lately, and I've been really enjoying the work for myself, but the same struggles you guys are all saying. Like, I have girls that have been around forever, but they're drop diamonds, or they never even got to diamond, but they're still like working out. And so they're these workhorses when it comes to their personal journey, but it's not translating into the business. And I think it's just a huge confidence gap that we need. So I guess how to mentor that confidence so that your doers actually do is what I really feel I need the most help with. Because I feel like I have great people there, and of course I could always bring in new blood, but their confidence is lacking, and I don't know how to translate that for them so that they take off like they should be. Cool.
Perfect. Yeah, we need them to do the do. Got it. Moving on, Casey, let's have you go next.
Hey everyone, it's so nice seeing people from Western New York. I am from south of Buffalo in Ellicottville, population like 3 people. But I have internet now, which is really awesome. But I will be a coach for 2 years next month. Our first year, we were a premier team, and so that was really, really exciting. I think one of my strengths is I'm really consistent, and I have this like come hell or high water attitude. I don't really have time for excuses, so I don't let myself make excuses, but I think that's something that I try to force duplication on people who don't naturally have that. So it's like I believe in people more than they believe in themselves, and I kind of just force this like square puzzle piece into a circle hole, and it gets frustrating. And just kind of finding balance with everything. I pour so much into my challenge groups. But I almost think that duplication even starts there for me because I pour so much into a challenge group. Even my current challengers, when we talk about coaching, they say, oh my gosh, you put so much into this. I don't know if I can do this. So I think finding the balance with that and then attracting more of those go-getters rather than trying to mold someone into a go-getter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't exist, but it does. That's something that we all can work on, is helping people find their strengths within themselves. I think if I don't need to be the very bad news, but if we only go after crazy, hardworking business builders like ourselves, we're going to be disappointed. So we do need to work with the people that we do have. We'll talk a lot about that and how to do that. Maybe we should do like a leadership series. I feel like that's where we should kind of need to focus on, because all of you are kind of saying kind of the same thing. I feel like we're supposed to be together in this group. I kind of got my work ethic together when nobody's following, and as much as people suck, they don't, and people don't suck, and so we can help them become better people through our leadership, and maybe we'll talk about that. So thank you, and we're thrilled you have internet. Not last, we had two more. Kate Noble, let's have you next.
Hi everybody, sorry for popping on late. I'm Kate Noble, and I have been coaching for about 3.5 years actively, and I live in Manhattan. And as far as strengths, I guess I also have an 8-month-old girl, and it's our first child, so I've been consistent with my business, but it's not as like full of momentum as I would have ideally wanted it to be the past 8 months. But I'm okay with that because I've really cherished this time. But I have that energy and drive back. And I'm happy to hear, Lindsay, that it gets better after you're done nursing, because I think that definitely is part of it. But right now, strengths, despite having kind of lost a little bit of motivation being a new mom, I feel like I've attracted some really awesome women that are in the same phase of their life as me to join the team, and they're motivated and excited, and our team culture is really on fire right now. My weakness is still time management in this new phase of life, and I know that my new go-getters are in that same phase, so I'm struggling with how to teach them when I'm still struggling with it at the same time. So that's probably my weakness right now. And then just, same thing as onboarding and just making sure that I'm giving my best, but not pushing too much to my new coaches.
Right. And thank you for being honest about that. I think time management is something that a lot of people struggle with. And if it's not us, we have people on our team who do struggle with time management, especially with the new phases of life, school starting, kids, work, moving, all of those things come into play. So thank you. All right, Joe, let's hear final words.
Hey, I'm Joe, Rochester, New York, with Ashley and Kate. Hi, Market Council. I've been a coach for a very long time, 10 years, on and off in terms of producing, taking time for family. This is my youngest. He's Max, 11 months old. Got a 3-year-old upstairs. My wife is trying to nap, so we're playing down here, which is why I wasn't on camera, trying not to distract too much. What's working for me is Facebook right now, Facebook and my blog, driving traffic to there. Excuse me. And then I'm most curious as to, being a coach for as long as I have in the getting started process lately, as to what coaches are doing to tell their new coaches to get started in that first, month to 3-month period. Is it old school, making a list? Is it just posting on social media and going after strangers, or just creating that curiosity? Because obviously things have changed in the Facebook space and the social media space and the Beachbody world since I've started. We've gone through pretty much so many different how to get coaches started correctly. I think we get a little bit confused as to, I don't think there's one correct way, but I'm kind of curious as to what is working for most people. And Max says hi. You say hi? You're getting tired.
Perfect. I think that struck a chord perfect. I think that's a great thing to do, of maybe some best practices of, or maybe how things have changed with how you get coaches started, right? Because you're exactly right. It has changed, and we need to make sure we continue to change. That's one of the things that we're really starting to promote here. You'll notice towards the end of the year, even us at corporate, we're changing how we recognize, we're changing how we incentivize, we're changing even programs such as Elite Community. We'll see some changes with that. It's simply because we understand that times change, that practices change, and we need to continue to mold. So if things are working for you, awesome, but don't get stuck there. Continue to continue to explore the new things that are around. Even if you've put your foot down and said, never, ever, ever going to ever do Instagram stories, well, guess what? They're working really well for a lot of coaches. So we might need to start learning Instagram stories or whatever it may be. I'm not saying you have to, but just become familiar with it. It's only to your benefit. That's one of the things as a leader and as a CEO, you need to continue to be on top of things. Just like my brother-in-law, he is a pharmacist and has gone through some crazy schooling to be a pharmacist. And things change, and medicine comes out so rapidly that he has to block out specific time just to stay on top of the new medications that come out, so that he can be knowledgeable if somebody comes up and asks him about that. The same needs to be with you. If you're comfortable, get uncomfortable. It's time to step out of that zone and really work and make it happen. I think we all understand that success isn't going to fall in your lap, as maybe as it once did for those who have been around for a while. It's going to come because you earned it. And it may take a little bit of rebuilding. It may take some hellos and goodbyes with some of your coaches, but it can happen. And when it does get back to that strong phase, it's going to be because it happened on purpose. And what a great feeling that would be. You're all, in my opinion, leaders in this organization. You've all helped hundreds of people start their journey who are in a better place because of what you've done for them. Yes, we're always looking for more. That's the entrepreneur in you. I understand that. But you do need to realize that you have helped so many people, and that's a rewarding feeling to have. And so I think this will be a great group. This will be, I hope this many people show up every single time, because this is where I think, like I said, the rubber meets the road. This is where we can strategize together. And just like you were open and honest and vulnerable today, show up like that every single time. But if you do have strengths, let's talk about them. If you do have ideas, let's talk about them. And if you have no idea how to do anything, let's talk about it. This is how we're going to get better. This is how the mastermind group is going to work. I've had very, very successful mastermind groups, and I've had some that have not been successful, and it's all based around you showing up and being willing to share and ask questions. So this is great. We did it in 40 minutes. So we will adjourn for now for 2 weeks. I will put together a schedule. I really am leaning towards leadership, but we will go over some of the things that you guys talked about with duplication, team culture, time management, best practice. We'll go over all of those things, and we will go from there. So thank you so much for jumping on. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.